Hi, this is Fresher. When Fresher loads, the first client-side script is login.js, running a .get statement to see if the user has a session logged in. If a session isn't found, Fresher loads the login screen, prompting the user to sign in with Google. When the user clicks the button, Fresher runs handle login, which contacts Upright SDK to create an OAuth 2 session, directing the user to the sign in with Google process. If a session is available, Fresher shows the profile screen, running the render profile screen function. This function fetches a username from the server and checks if the user actually exists in the database. If the user doesn't exist, Fresher will create a demo feed in the database. From there, the user can launch Fresher. Whenever any page on Fresher loads, a script automatically runs to ensure that users who don't have a valid Upright session token are always directed back to the login screen. Feed creation is the most complex part of Fresher. Like every other part of the web app, Fresher starts by pulling the user account details from Upright, getting the Google ID. This is because the Google ID acts as a key to access information in the SQLite database. After obtaining the Google ID, Fresher fetches the feeds to display from the server. For every feed that's given, Fresher contacts the server to fetch the articles for that feed. If the server was able to successfully obtain content for that feed, it'll go through and display the articles. This process is sequential, meaning that it's much faster and more responsive. If Fresher has a problem with the feed, warnings are shown to nudge the user to fix them. If a user wants to do so, they'll open the RSS settings page. From here, Fresher gets the user's Google ID and feeds that into an API ping to the server. The server returns the RSS feed to display. In a similar fashion to the home page, Fresher checks if each feed is functional or broken, and then displays the feeds accordingly. Because Fresher doesn't display feeds for settings sequentially, checks can cause long wait times for the page to load. For each feed, the user can delete it or edit its settings. If the user wants to edit its settings, Fresher will start by getting the user's Google ID and the feed ID from the URL. If there isn't a feed ID in the URL, Fresher will create a new feed. If the user tries to access a feed ID outside of the account scope, Fresher will push them back to the general account settings. All settings in Fresher are HTML forms, and they have an action to use a push request under a designated API ping. These requests contact the server, which change the data through an SQL update query, and then resolve them by refreshing the client. Neat! Technical overview aside, here's what Fresher can do. Fresher is an RSS feed reader, meaning it collects content over various RSS feed sources that you can customize. Fresher arranges this content into a home feed, where the user can scroll through the articles and click on one to jump to that link. The user can change their feeds in the RSS feed settings. Fresher will notify the user if a feed is having a problem. For each feed, the user can edit how it appears on the home screen, like increasing the amount of articles it shows on the feed, changing the feed name, and editing the visibility of the image and description. The user can also change other settings, which can be found in the Account section and Experiment section. For example, in the Account section, the user can change their username, which can be seen when logging in. They can also unlink the Fresher account from the Google account using this button. One more thing, Fresher's design also adapts based on the screen resolution, changing the positioning of elements and the design of cards for different screen sizes. And that's it! You can install Fresher from github.com/yavin123/Fresher.